The only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer!
Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring you the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined, as always, by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and our fermentainer.
Wait, Maker.
This feels really weird, because we've just been recording for 4 hours.
And we're
doing
pretending
an
that we're
intro.
starting again.
Why not do another episode? No, we wanted to get this little intro out there, because this is the continuation of the Beer Busters Nation and the Education, Libation, Fabrication.
This is part two of Brewphoria 13.
Of Brewphoria 13 at Canal Street in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Our favorite beer fest of the year.
Oh my God! I mean, I'm feeling good, feeling full, feeling happy, feeling excited, feeling a lot of things. There's a hop ornament in front of me that I forgot that I had that I'm very grateful to have now that I remember.
So more good beers, more good interviews, more good people.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff coming up. It was a lot of fun, and if you happen to not be at Brewphoria, we hope you learn from last year and this year to be here next year as well, because it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good beers here, a lot of good people, and even, this is the one beer fest that I can go to that I say that everybody who pays to be here as well on the drinkers side, they appreciate it all as well, and it makes it such a happy environment, and it's a lot of fun. So we hope you enjoy part 2 of Brewphoria 13, and we look forward to Brewphoria 14.
Part 2 is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters and get your free 30-day trial of Audible and download a free
audiobook. Free audiobook indeed. Go do it now and listen to it after you are done listening to part 2 of Brewphoria.
audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
Joining us at the table now, we have Kristen from Evolution. How are you, Kristen?
I am fantastic, thank you.
Good. Yeah, thanks for coming up here to the table with us.
Absolutely.
And you brought what I'm sure are some tasty beers with. Now, before we jump into those, Evolution, where are you guys located?
We're in Salisbury, Maryland.
Okay.
About half an hour from Ocean City, Eastern
Okay.
Shore area.
We used to go to Ocean City, Maryland as younger people.
Yes.
That came out stupid. When we're family, and we would take vacations to Ocean City, Maryland a lot
When we were shorter.
When we were littler, younger, stupider.
So did you go to Secrets when you were there? Or no, you weren't of age then.
Secrets?
Yeah.
I remember.
No, but I used to have T-shirts from Secrets.
Yeah.
So we actually make the house beer for Secrets.
Oh, do you
that's
really?
awesome.
Yes, it's called Tropical.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes. So it's only out in that area. We actually don't distribute it out this way, but
Fair enough.
Right.
if you're out that way, you can catch it there.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm thinking correctly, just a few years ago, you guys were located in a much smaller location.
We
then
started in
moved.
Delaware and then moved over to Southern
I
Maryland.
was at the Delaware location. I think the last week it was open.
Oh, very
So
nice.
I have yet to go to the location in Maryland.
We'll definitely stop by.
Yes,
we have
I
a
will
huge
have
brew
to.
pub, lots of great food, tasting room, tours,
Oh, cool.
fantastic spot.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I have to, I guess I should probably ask before we started recording, Evolution or Evolution?
Evolution.
Evolution. Okay, good.
Evo for short.
Evo for, so that's where you okay. Evolution, but Evo. Sorry. Okay. But the beers that you have with you tonight, we have, I believe, 3 at the table.
Yes,
right?
there's 3.
And what are we starting with?
I would say I would start with the Alpha 6. It's the lightest one. It's 4.5%.
Oops.
All right.
This
So
is
Alpha 6.
And this is actually our newest edition. It's our limited release series that we just started. So this is the first release of it. It's 4.5 session Belgian golden ale with a special yeast from the Ardennes area of Belgium.
Ooh.
So we just released this a few weeks ago. Nice and crisp and light.
Absolutely it is.
Definitely can crush a few of those and not feel too crazy.
You get a lot of the Belgian characteristics, but they're subdued.
It's not as
but
heavy
like,
as you might
yeah,
expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Belgians come in super strong with the flavor, and this one it stays light and crisp. And what did you say the ABV was?
4.5.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but This is
crushable.
Super, yeah,
It's crushable.
this is
Definitely crushable.
But it's still strong and complex. It's like the opposite of what we usually get.
Right, and it's-
you drink it and you wouldn't think it's only 4.5%. Where
Yeah.
typically you drink it and you're like, it's what?
But a lot of times when you have the Belgian, the sweetness sticks around in the background. This doesn't, and I like that because sweetness, when it lingers, it can be really bad.
Yeah.
And
you don't
this-
want your sweetness to be clingy. No.
No.
But we're all
That's
about
right.
well-balanced beers at Evolution.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. I like it. This is really, really good.
And it is nice. You don't often get, like you said, a lot of Belgian-style beers that are so easy drinking.
Yeah.
It's a nice, refreshing,
Well,
easy
cheers.
drinking.
Get it while you can because it's a limited release. So
So that means it's never coming back, right? Once it's gone, it's gone.
it's for now. Yes, we'll
now.
see.
Unless
we'll
we
see.
revolt on the interwebs.
Never say never.
Yes, you never know. But yes, so it's once and done for now. It's the first of our limited release that we just started doing. Our next one will come out probably December, January,
All right.
and then another 3 months we'll have a new one. So we're just going to rotate some new ones coming out there.
So where does the name Lot 3 come from? Because you have other Lot beers as well.
Yes,
right?
we have Lot 6, which is our double. The name comes from when we started brewing. We brewed the first batch, thought it was good. Brewed the second batch, thought it was great. The third batch that we brewed, we thought we really nailed it, and we stuck with it. So that's really where the name comes from.
Okay.
So Lot 3 is just where
Third one.
The third one, we nailed it, and we stuck with it. And then the 6 comes from the fact that it's a double. So
Oh, 3 times 2.
3 times, yep. So double that is the 6. So that's where the name comes
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Cool. Well, what was Steph? What was the one that you had poured before
This
realizing
is
we should
Lot
drink that?
3.
This
Lot
is
3,
Lot
the
3 that
IPA.
we're going into. Okay.
Yep.
You get a lot of the hoppiness from the aroma, which I like. What hops are in this?
from. So we got all the C hops. So all 5 C hops.
Cascade,
Cascade,
Centennial,
Citra,
Citra,
Chinook.
Chinook. Yes.
It would have been weird if we all said them in the exact same order.
That's the other one.
Oh yeah, in Columbus. Can't forget Columbus.
Yeah, we said 4. We're like, yeah, got it. No,
I just started getting weirded out because we were all like on the same exact page.
yeah,
But
that happens a lot.
It blends them together very well.
So, 6.8%, super well balanced, solid citrusy notes, a nice malt backbone.
Absolutely.
A good go-to IPA.
It is, yeah.
Ooh. There's something in the in the background that I'm getting with it that makes me want to go back in for more, and I can't really describe it.
It's called beer.
Yeah, it's almost like it's
Thanks.
the malt backbone isn't. It's like subtly sweet and almost like there's rye in it. I don't know if there is rye
Like
in
a
it, but it
slight
gives you that
spicy
slight
character.
spiciness
Yeah.
that's nice.
Maybe that's what I'm getting.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just say yes. Why not? No, I love it. This is super, super drinkable. Oh,
Ooh.
and there's a dark beer being passed around.
The porter.
Yeah, so next up is Lucky 7 Porter. The name comes from the 7 malts. We use 7 Lucky malts in it. So
nice.
nice slight smokiness at front. but
Yeah,
nice,
I love
sweet
that smokiness.
Toffee flavor at the end. A very good cooking beer as well.
Oh, that's nice. That's very
I
nice.
love the smokiness
Yeah.
up front. I wasn't expecting it, and it was a pleasant surprise.
Pairs very well with the delicious pork that you have served here tonight.
Oh, yes,
the pork.
This would go excellently with that pork.
Ooh, there is a nice smokiness.
Yeah,
to
it's
it.
a nice, nice roasty character in there. And
You can put some porter and some slow cooking pork. Make some
Yeah.
flavor in there.
Oh.
this is the second beer recipe we've gotten this evening.
That's right.
Cook with something.
I don't know. I like to drink my beer.
I like to eat my beer.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Do you? So do you guys distribute in Pennsylvania?
We do, yes.
Okay.
So we're all the way out. We're not all of Pennsylvania yet, but we go as far as Lancaster, Harrisburg, York.
Okay.
But,
Do you have anything here in Reading, or are you just here kind of showcasing at the event?
Well, they carry our beer here as well.
Cool.
We kind of pop up here and there. Liberty Tap Room has us. And,
They've got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
That's
so-
awesome to have you there. How about Philly?
Philly? Well, I live in Philly.
Yeah,
we're
me
all-
too.
Oh, nice. Cheers.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're all over Philadelphia as well.
Wow. So there's an Acme you need to get into at
here we go
19th
with-
and Oregon.
Here we go
Oh,
with
we're
the
on
Acme
there.
again.
We're
Really?
there. I did
I haven't-
sampling there like
Did
a
you
long
really?
time ago, though.
I haven't seen. Wow.
I haven't been there in a while, but they should have a good amount of our beer there.
So how long has Evolution been around?
Since 2009.
2009?
We've been in it's our fourth year in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Second year in New Jersey. going on our third. Yeah.
Nice.
So we just launched Central Jersey. We just launched Virginia, and we're kind of sticking.
cool.
We're sticking put there for a little bit. The owners of the brewery are very into being in the territories, and so we try to, branch out as we can, so everyone can still be involved in each other's territory. So
That's awesome. So there's So I have to keep an eye out in Philly again.
absolutely.
Add it to your shopping
If it's not
list.
there, I'm gonna yell at Fred, the manager.
I do have a nice event coming up at Taproom on 19th. That's a chili cook-off.
I'm like 3 blocks from there.
All right. Well, the 22nd, I believe, is that Sunday. It's a chili cook-off, and we'll be sponsoring that. So there'll be a bunch of Evo brews on there, and
All
a
right.
special
There you go,
Firkin.
Dan.
So
All right. So that's all right.
yeah,
What time?
it's all day. It's all day.
All right, because I probably work until like 6.
I think we'll still be there.
All right, cool.
She'll wait for you.
I will
Yeah.
probably need a beer after work.
I'm
That
sure I'll
is
be
for
there
sure.
for a very long time.
Awesome.
It's a great spot.
It's a fantastic spot.
Yeah.
You have to. Have you been there before? I'm
Oh
guessing.
yeah, of course.
Have you ever gotten the mac and cheese fries?
I have not had them yet.
Oh my God, they're so good. Oh, they're amazing.
Mac and cheese
You have
fries.
to-
They
That's
sound
pretty good.
very healthy and delicious.
Well, and they
exceptionally
have a
healthy.
fried egg they put on top of it too. So it's
Wow.
the fries, the
And
mac
a
and cheese,
fried
and a
egg.
fried egg.
And then they take the whole thing and crush it into a ball and deep fry it again.
That sounds amazing.
and then coat it in chocolate.
Well, I mean,
And
you
put
don't,
ice cream on
you
top.
don't go there for the salads. That's for
No,
sure.
no.
But that's,
Great spot, great food,
Yeah.
great people. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So you're in Philly, you're here in Reading, you're
Yeah.
going into Virginia now. That's great.
And the house beer at Secrets.
And the house beer at Secrets.
Yes.
Tropical, right?
Tropical.
All right. What kind of beer is that?
It's like it's like a wheat.
All right. That makes
style
sense because it's
Like
kind
a
of
wheat
like on the
something?
beach.
I don't
yeah.
have it here. I don't get to have it that often. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, you just gotta go down to Secrets.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yeah.
Try it out for yourself.
Exactly. Cool. Awesome. Kristen, thank you so much for coming up to the table.
Thank you for having us.
And I will see you at the Tap Room on 19th.
Yes, I hope so.
All right. Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so we have a surprise, and I guess it's kind of a surprise, but not really. Like, I don't know that I was expecting the two of you to sit down at the table at the same time with us, but I'm happy you are.
Why not?
So we've got Dusty, the man behind Brewphoria, and many drunken nights, who I found out after we recorded here last time that you and I share a birthday.
May 24th?
May 24th.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't remember running into me at PJ's, do you?
I do now.
We did a shot. You ate some of my nachos.
You know the famous people who have that birthday?
Bob Dylan, Tommy Chong.
There's one more. Heavy D.
Who's
Heavy D.
You don't know Heavy
Who's Heavy D?
What? The whitest man at the table, obviously.
We
Apparently I've offended
We
all
listened
of you.
to,
You don't know Heavy
throwback
D?
hip hop the whole way to Jersey last night.
Yeah, we did.
Is that like,
1079.
is that
Yep.
a euphemism? Like,
Heavy D was a rapper. Obviously, he was a little bit on the heavy
Peppa,
side.
Heavy D up in the limousine.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got
He
nothing.
was actually a very clean rapper. Like, he didn't, not a lot of
Did
profanity.
he bathe a lot?
Yes.
He did not
but
exercise,
He
though.
was not, he did not exercise, but he was not a profanity guy. Profanity rapper.
He
Okay.
was not a profanity guy.
We also have another person at the table.
I know. I was
today.
about to do it once Dusty would shut up, and I realized that wasn't really going to happen very easily.
You have to explain Sasha's looks on the
So,
on the
so
podcast.
we have Sasha here at the table as well, who was referenced on a recent episode of Beer Busters, but was not there because, as we just learned, you were at a yoga studio serving beer.
While we were at Dock Street.
While
yes.
we were at Dock Street drinking Wu-Tang and eating flamin' coochie pizza.
Flaming coochie pizza.
Flaming Coochie Pizza.
Flumkuchen.
Oh, my
whatever,
goodness.
whatever that was.
Kuka.
Yeah, yes, that.
That.
Yes, but to Dusty's point, Dusty has nominated you as the most attractive,
I said handsome.
most handsome, I apologize, the most handsome brewery rep here.
No, in Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania,
I am
absolutely.
Not
So,
here tonight,
in Pennsylvania
in the
overall.
States.
So Dusty, I think it's safe to say, has a man crush on you.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and Dusty's the most attractive bar manager in Pennsylvania, right? So we have two
I'll
of
throw
the
out my nomination right there.
okay, awesome.
two of the
awesome.
best looking
Yes.
beer guys in
You
Pennsylvania.
can't
at
tell
the
right now,
table.
but we're literally glowing. And it's not because we've been drinking all night.
Well, that's why I'm glowing. You also brought stickers. You threw a lot of stickers out of the table. Thank you for the Dock Street stickers.
I've always wanted to
Yes.
throw stuff in the air. And
Make it rain.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. With stickers.
So is this is the label,
This is the Rye PA label.
the IPA?
Yeah, we relaunched our rye IPA in 24-pack cases.
Yes.
We call them 24-ounce bottles. And everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about?
24 ounce
Just cases,
24 packs,
4
yes.
6-packs. We relaunched the wider distribution. We redesigned the label a little bit, tweaked the recipe for better packaging life, and we're really happy with it.
Yeah,
So-
we had that in the
did.
bottles when we were at Dock Street. We
Yes.
got a little treat there.
It's super good.
oh,
I
it's
love
so
this beer.
good. It's so
and this
good.
beer has been in the Dock Street catalog for quite some time.
Yeah, that was one of the first beers we brewed, actually, in the Firehouse. So we opened that location in 2007. It's 8 years of kind of tweaking around and perfecting this recipe. It's the top 13 rye beer in the world on Beer Advocate.
Oh, that's awesome.
It has a 98 on Rate Beer.
Okay, so does that mean you're 13? Not many people will say top 13. I'm not. Listen, I love your beer, so I'm not. This is not an insult. That was not meant. But when you say top 13, so
On the sales sheet, I said top 15. In real life.
that's better. That's better.
Between
top
you and me,
15.
I'm trying to impress the most
But when you
handsome
say-
bar manager in Pennsylvania, actually. Hey, what's up?
Which I will honestly run rye IPA throughout the year, so it's not like I'm. But when you say top 13, it's obvious that
You're number 13.
you're number 13.
I could say top 14 and be like, actually.
well, yeah. Obviously,
As
you're
it
Surprise!
Fuck you, number 14. This is a solid beer. Dusty,
so
do you
good.
carry this beer?
not. I just learned about the bottles, so that's awesome.
Well, it just happened.
It just happened.
Well,
So
we should place an order.
But obviously, we do run it on tap and occasionally in a firkin as well. So I mean,
Ooh, and a firkin.
yes. So.
I will put you down for 110 cases. You heard it here first.
There you go.
Perfect. So the other beer you brought is the espresso stout.
Yeah, we so Dock Street's a family business for me, which I guess explains why I hung on to my job as long as I did. But I was at a bowling alley in Philadelphia, and I ran into some guy who was like essentially me, but in a coffee roaster. His parents started it. His dad is like one of the top 20 people in the world who's able to rank and price coffee.
Not top 21 or top 19, but top 20.
Top 13.
Top 13.
Tastes in the world. He's like one of the few people that can actually price coffee as a commodity. I didn't even know that was a thing. But he's so passionate about the company, and we like met, and we were definitely not drunk or anything. We decided we wanted to work together and brew a beer, so they threw together a blend for us, and yeah, we came up with this 4.6% American stout. It has a pretty high mash temperature, so a lot of residual sweetness and a little bit of body left. All the coffee was added cold side, so you don't get any of the bitterness or astringency that some coffee beers give you. It's a really nice, smooth, mellow body with this great, like, earthy, chocolatey, slightly fruity coffee notes at the end. And
Holy crap.
Really good.
Yeah.
This is 3 excellent coffee beers we've had today at
Yeah.
this event, and they are just
COB.
COB obviously was the
and
first.
Barista's
Hijinks,
Choice.
Barista's Choice.
Oh yeah, that's
And
great.
now this.
Some,
This we
No
didn't have
espresso
this.
stout.
We didn't have this when we were there.
We did not have this
No,
when
we
we were
did not.
there.
Which I was upset about.
it's so tough to wonder if Dan is staring into the mac and cheese or into Sasha's eyes. It's like I can't figure out
I
what
have
he's
to point out for everyone that
the same
can't
look
see
to
this,
I am literally...
Sasha's directly across the table from me. The mac and cheese is to my right between me and Wayne, so there's no way to mistake what I'm looking
Okay,
at.
all right.
I'm
I'm just amazed you're awake.
I wish everyone could see I'm batting my eyelashes right now.
Oh, yeah.
So Sasha, you were the one that came up with the genius idea to play Wu-Tang for 24 hours straight, or for 24 hours a day straight as the beer was in the barrel, correct?
I mean, Vince and I came up with the beer idea together.
He credited you with coming up with that idea.
That was one part that I added. He came up with the name. I came up with the music playing to it, and I think we're still kind of reeling from the success of that beer launch. We sold out the beer in 45 minutes in bottles, except for the one I saved for Dusty. Hi.
Yes, which is awesome. I couldn't make the event, so I was so happy to get there. Now, had you heard of the idea about playing music during the fermentation process, or?
It's one of those things that we do. We're trying to constantly eliminate variables in brewing. Most of what we do is cleaning and producing the same consistent environment for the yeast to perform. And one of those things you can change is pressure, temperature. And pretty much what we're doing is introducing the constant rhythmic pressure change to the barrel. There's a couple breweries. There's one in Italy that I was reading about that has headphones for each of its fermenters. They
awesome.
produce
Nice.
classical music, and I don't think anyone's done it with Wu-Tang Clan before.
Well,
so.
the reason I ask is Voodoo does it. There's constantly music in their barrel house. There was twice where there was no music playing, and both batches went bad.
Really?
Yes, and that's from Matt Allen, the owner of the brewery. He told me that. And I was like in shock. And then
Some
to hear,
spoiled beer.
yeah, exactly. And then to hear you guys playing
Some
Woot,
stricter parenting.
yeah.
And I used to try to do that shit to my parents all the time. Like, I can't listen to music. No.
I said it to Vince when we were there. I like the idea of doing rap with it. I'm not a rap fan, as Dusty pointed out. I'm the whitest person at the table here.
Clearly.
But I like the thought of doing rap because it's so heavy on the bass. It's so heavy on the lower frequencies overall. And as an audio guy, I
It's
appreciate
also heavy on the D.
heavy on the.
Is that a type of beer? Is that like a Scotch ale?
It is now.
But it makes sense that would resonate with the beer a little bit better. And we had the control, as it's been called.
Not the woo.
Not the woo. Not woo.
Not the woo.
No. The control and not woo were two different things.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the control was the not woo. We had the Wu-Tang.
Because
You
the
had it-
control.
No, but we had the beer, beer, and then we had it
the
in a
base
different
beer.
barrel
The other one-
without, and then we had the base beer.
Right, and the one in the other barrel without
Oh,
the
that's
woo.
not
that's
woo.
that control and not the woo.
So it was the same batch of barrels, same beer before,
My head
Because it was
hurts.
made the same way but without the woo.
and
That's why it was the control.
it actually worked out perfectly. It confirmed our hypothesis.
Yes.
See? There you go.
But the beer, it came out less
Lots and
funky.
lots of good
essentially.
data.
It
Yes.
was great tasting. It tasted awesome, but it wasn't as
It
the
lacked
yeast wasn't
that
as potent.
je ne sais quoi.
And Inspector Deck was the person at the party, right?
Inspector
Yeah, someone
Deck?
actually
Shut
just
up.
sent us a picture. They got Inspected Deck to draw the Wu-Tang symbol on their
Yes,
arm.
they
and
got
it's
a tattoo.
awesome. She went the next morning, maybe that
Yeah.
same night, to a tattoo parlor, and there's a picture of her arm all like blown
Yep,
up.
yep.
She got his outline stenciled on her arm.
Yep.
And didn't.
That's nuts.
I find Sasha hotter when he talks about Wu-Tang. I don't know.
The moment that Vince saw that was captured on our podcast
Oh,
because he
man.
picked up his phone. He's like, "Look at that!"
Breaking news.
By the
It
way,
was breaking
can I
news.
apologize? We gave you the shittiest fucking table.
I noticed
I'm
that, but I didn't
sorry.
want to say
It's a
it.
little wobbly.
I
As long
totally
as it doesn't
apologize.
fall.
That's why the computer's over here on a chair.
Oh man.
Still crashing anyway.
So speaking of things that taste amazing, I just passed around
what
this
is-
unmarked bottle.
This was an unmarked bottle that you said it was 3
Oh,
years.
is this the?
Yeah, we
Berkeley
do
Pear?
every November around Thanksgiving. We do a bottle release. I think this year it's the 24th. Check the website, drbeer.com. Rules and regulations apply. Must be a 21 or under. Is that like how you do it on the radio, or I'm sorry?
it works.
That's good.
I have not been drinking. Fingers are crossed. Eyelashes are batting towards Dusty. Hi. Number one most attractive bar manager in
By the way, I
Pennsylvania.
still have a 6-year-old Goza downstairs. I'm excited to tap too.
Oh.
Yes.
If you guys, I wish you could see it. We're running towards each other on the beach. I don't know how this is happening.
in very
slow motion.
skimpy
Yeah,
speedos.
the table is so wobbly because we're on the sand. Actually, the water keeps washing the
Once
shims
again,
away.
this is the third time of me being on the podcast and it's crashing again. I'm sorry. I'm a train wreck.
That's all right.
You never
We love
spiral
you.
upwards.
Exactly. There's no spiral up.
So this is a beer to guard.
Yeah, it's we brewed this beer called Nino's Prickly Pears. My mother is Sicilian, and her mother used to bring her prickly pears around Christmas time. Last time we went, it was my mother, my sister, our vice president. We stayed in Sicily in this old villa.
Joe Biden?
No Joe Biden. Her name's Marilyn. She's much prettier than Joe Biden.
I
and
don't doubt that.
runs a much better brewing ship than I imagined he would. Joe Biden's great, don't get me wrong, but Marilyn has an excellent palate for mezcal, craft beer, all things good. Anyway, this old innkeeper would come every morning and at 8 a.m. bring us a tray full of prickly pears, and he wouldn't shut up about how he wanted to come to America and open a brewery and sell beer. And he's 95 years old. He's not going anywhere. I don't think he knows what a passport is.
Wow.
So we decided to brew this beer and name it after him, Nino's Prickly Pears, and we mailed him a couple bottles. So this was 3 years ago. We put it in an old red wine barrel that was spiked with Brett B, Brett C, and Saccharomyces, and it's been aging for about 3 years. So
Wow.
we pulled up some bottles. We bottled it up 2 months ago, and we released it November 24th, along
right.
with Russian Imperial Stout, Belgian Chocolate Stout, and some other cool stuff.
You have a release coming up on the 28th also, don't you? A collaboration with
Yeah,
band.
we're working with a band called Flight School out of Philadelphia.
Oh, cool.
And we've known them for a while. They played at a music festival, so they have one of their biggest shows coming up at the TLA November 28th. So we're brewing this beer called Little Chicken IPA for them.
Oh, that
and
was-
it's
yeah.
like the most adorable name to say. Like, I'll have a little
Little
chicken, please.
chicken.
Actually, their drummer is like, hey, what do you have for lunch? It's just a little chicken. So they named the song after that.
That's awesome.
It's very, very pleasing to say. So we released that on the 28th. And it's going to be a great show in Philadelphia.
That's awesome.
November
That's really
28th.
cool.
Must be 21 year old tender. Rules and regulations apply. I'm sorry.
No
Like,
purchase
not funny.
necessary.
The TLA is a good venue. I was just at a show there not too long ago. I forgot how much I like that place.
Yeah, it's it was supposed to be at the Fillmore originally,
Yeah.
and I think they were selling so many tickets they bumped it to the TLA, which is the bigger venue or
Is
the
that the one in
stage.
Chinatown?
No, that's the Troc.
The truck.
TLA's on South Street.
Okay.
Right across from Lorenzo's. So what I did, walked out of the TLA after the show and walked right over to Lorenzo's and got a slice. And wanted to go to Jim's to get a steak also, but I realized I like breathing. So
What's that? It's a Philly taco. It's a Jim's cheesesteak wrapped in a slice of Lorenzo's
I've done
pizza.
that before. It's fantastic.
And there's a
sounds
beer,
incredible.
Philly taco.
Wait a minute. What just happened?
Yeah, Dusty has Rich.
You have
I
your
used
new-
your beer bitch.
Rich is now Dusty's personal beer slave, apparently.
Speaking of Dock Street, have you ever been to... I recommend going to Dock Street for their Sunday brunch. Last time I was there, I had an awesome Sunday brunch. Fantastic. That was right around when that was the day the first Walker released.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
Go Brains.
Were you at Dock Street for Walker?
Yes.
Why goat?
Because cow, I think, has a bad connotation for
Okay.
mad cow disease. Pigs, although
Here
they're
comes
not
Dan
dirty,
Dan
have
the-
a negative connotation as well. Lambs are too adorable.
Too adorable. Fair
Wow.
enough. All right.
Goats were available from the Italian market, most importantly.
And goats already screamed too, so.
yeah.
But I asked Vince that, and he wasn't quite sure because he wasn't there when that all happened.
Yeah, that was probably our most publicized beer release.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I was talking with one of our old brewers, and we wanted to do something for The Walking Dead to celebrate the show. We both love it, and we were tossing out beer ideas and ingredients, and we wanted to do blood orange, and we thought that was too not cool
obvious.
enough.
Well,
they
and
were
then Terrapin swoops in and does that and gets the official sponsor
I
from
know,
it.
I was kind of salty about that because
Yeah.
the writers of the show were calling us asking for bottles of the beer. And
Were they really?
Yeah, I thought
shit.
we were getting sued. I was bartending that night, and some guy calls. He's like, "Hey, I want to talk about Walker." I was like, "Oh, cool. I brew and I do marketing. I think I'd be a good person to talk to." Like, we're writers from The Walking Dead. I was like, "Oh shit."
I have no idea what you're talking
Oh,
about.
you mean this Doc? We're
No, that's
Doc,
a different guy, and he's dead now.
Doc
They
Lane.
were asking.
He's a zombie.
They were asking the model.
So was it Greg Nicotero? Was it Frank Darabont?
I think it was an Alex.
Who?
I don't know what the guy's name
He
was.
was too scared.
Yeah, anyway.
Remember?
I was also not drinking that night.
Allegedly.
Rules and regulations apply. But anyway, we wanted to add something kind of special, and you always strive to do something that no one's ever done before, which becomes a stretch nowadays.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Mediterranean family. We used to own a restaurant in West Philadelphia, and one of the chefs is a Sicilian guy. And I was like 10 years old behind the pizza line, and he comes in with a calf's head that's like skinned. He puts a towel and Oakley's on it, and I'm just this 10-year-old standing there making pizza in my mom's restaurant, like living a cliche. And there's this calf's head just staring at me with sunglasses, and at the end he cooks it, and he roasted the brains in the oven and explained about kind of sustainability and like cultural delicacies and using all parts of the animal is like the ultimate respect. And
Yeah.
it was the first time and last until we brew this beer that I had that particular type of offal, but it was tasty, and I think it worked for a beer.
Nice.
Or
Well,
whatever.
and the best thing is that we got Steph, who's a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
To,
I'm a vegetarian now.
I know.
I eat way too much cheese
You
to
do
be a
eat
vegan
cheese.
anymore.
But we got her to drink the Walker here last year.
Yeah, that's right. It was here.
How was it?
Brainy.
It was
I
brainy.
think I had it too stuck in my head that I'm drinking a beer with brains that I didn't even like.
Pay attention.
We did
I was
this
just like,
thing.
there, I took a sip, done.
Yeah.
And like this stupid like punny joke I thought I'd make, I made a ice cream float with it. With like Ben and Jerry's, and we called it Brain Freeze.
Oh my god.
And it's like
But,
roll out
bum.
this stupid red carpet. But we put a picture on Instagram, and the beer got coverage on like CNN, Fox, ABC, like all these newscasts
Yeah.
in Florida the next day started posting pictures of the beer. And it's like they brew this beer with brains, and it's like this creamy, frothy thing. It's like actually an ice cream float. Everyone's like, oh my god, I can see the brains in there. And it's actually an ice cream float. And we're like, no, it's.
Wow.
Oh, that's
That's funny.
gotta love the
funny.
media.
Well, you can always expect
Humana,
fun
humana, humana.
and a good time at Dock Street.
Yeah. And also
And good looks.
Well, and good looks, yes. You can
And
also
Vince, you're a cutie too. It's all right.
No,
I don't
yeah.
want Vince to feel bad now.
But you can also expect good times here at Brewphoria as well.
Yes.
That's right.
Brought to you by the one and only Dusty Wise.
#1 nominated best looking bar manager.
Stop it.
This
Stop
side
it.
of the
Yep.
Schuylkill. Are we on this side? I guess we are on this side of the Schuylkill.
What side?
By
Well, it
What
definition.
side
doesn't
is
matter.
this side?
Whatever,
By
whatever
definition.
side you're on is this side.
So I'm told. Yeah.
Unless you're in the middle of the river, you are on this side of the Schuylkill.
Mind blown.
Think about that. If a tree falls in the woods,
Yes, it makes a sound.
Will Dusty and I be drinking beers?
You know, I
there?
will say this. It's just number 13, and still does not get any easier.
I'm
still,
sure, yeah.
I'm still at 5:55 throwing things together. You
Yeah.
think at some point it would get any easier.
I get
It's
made-
just, and I love this event. It's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. And we were saying earlier, too, I forget, it might have just been the three of us, that you could easily pack more people in here, but I like that you don't.
It's funny because today, at one point in the first half hour, I was like, shit, it seems more crowded than normal. For some reason, everybody runs to the buffet.
oh yeah, of course.
Everybody runs to the buffet.
It's this damn
350
I lined
people.
my purse with a trash bag.
Yeah, run to the buffet, and there's congestion right in the middle of it. I'm like,
Yep.
did we screw up and sell more tickets by accident? And I checked with my boss. No, we didn't sell any more than normal. It's just, and then it all spreads out, and everything's fine.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're just all in one spot.
And we could sell more, but the whole point before is we stress one-on-one.
Yeah.
Somebody like Heavy Seas. Heavy Seas has been here in the past. They have a new representative here this year, and they were like, wow, this is amazing. I could literally talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we stress one-on-one. When Great Lakes, a few years ago, the first time they were here, Mark Weinman, he goes, I can count you. I can tell you how many people, how many new customers I made tonight because I was able to talk to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it great because we've been to other beer fests where, I mean, there's a lot of people there. Before we even started the podcast, we went to one down in the Navy Yard in Philly, and
Yep.
it was gigantic. There were so many breweries there, but there were so many people there too.
I don't want to turn around. What's going on back
I
there?
don't know. Something happened.
But yeah, when you have that many people at an event, it
It's-
really detracts from it
It's
because
pour next.
It's
pour
exactly.
next,
It's you're a robot.
and
Pour
it's,
next.
it's
Pour
both
next.
sides because even as I mean, we were on the side of people, drinking that day. So we would go up and we'd have our little tasting glasses. All right, can I get that? But then it's a huge line to get the next beer then too.
Exactly.
So you
and
feel-
even if someone who wants to ask a question, say, Dan, you were waiting in line for a long time, you want to ask a question. But by the time you're to the front, you don't want to piss off the 10 people behind you.
Yeah,
So you're not going to ask that question.
exactly. Yeah, no, you're totally right.
Like I said, there's 21 breweries here tonight. They can probably tell you how many customers they gained tonight.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to other festivals where it's 1,000, 2,000 people, they may
Yeah.
not. They couldn't tell you if they gained one customer or 100 customers.
Yeah. And then you have the opportunity then too to have somebody like us here and then somebody like Sasha to come sit down at the table and talk to us as well. If you were running a gig that had 1,000 or 2,000 people there, I mean, one, I'd like to see that happen in here because that would be like sardines. But you'd be running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it yourself either.
Yeah. So no, it never gets easier, and you're always doing a lot, but you're able to manage it all because it's not overflowing.
And the breweries look forward to this event as well.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they
Well,
break out some really special beers, so
this
you
is
know
something
you're going to have
that-
something good.
Something I really stress. There's a few breweries here, Sly Fox, Sasha at some point, but there were some at some point who from Brewphoria 1 who have been here for 13 that I will never not invite.
Yeah.
Sasha's been here for the last few, and I keep
Yeah.
inviting him. There's
How you
breweries
doing?
that built Brewphoria. And
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
it was my idea, and Canal Street kind of built it. But yet, without the Sly Foxes, the Wireboggers, and later the Dock Streets, Brewphoria wouldn't be Brewphoria 13.
Yeah.
It would have died 9, 10 Brewphorias ago. So people say, well, why don't you go for the bigger names? And you know what? Brewphoria's not about bigger names and the national, international breweries. It's about the breweries that built Brewphoria.
Yeah.
Steve from Sly Fox has been here. Steve has retired from Sly Fox, and yet when Sly Fox showed up today, guess who was here? Steve.
Of course.
It's
He
amazing.
came for the mac and cheese.
That's possible. Actually, Steve loves the band. I think Steve has more fun than me, myself, and everyone else. I think Steve, who's now semi-retired, has more fun than everyone else. It's brewery, and Dock Street, Sasha has gone on in the past few years, and it all started with the Sly Foxes of the world, and Beer Mart. Beer Mart was a big proponent of and a big helper of Brewphoria from the get-go. And then, now we have guys in the past couple years like John Stemler from Free Will, who I'm a big John fan.
He brought
too.
Steph
As
safe
Steph
word.
cradles her squealer of safe word.
Is that what a small growler is called? A squealer?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Well,
But there will always be the core.
squealers.
There will always be the core the breweries of the core, the Great Lakes, the Sly Foxes, the Weyerbacher's, that I will always invite because I really respect that they were here from day one. And there's breweries who have gone on, like I said, like Dock Street, like Free Will, like Heavy Seas. It's hard for me not to invite them because they're what Brewphoria is all about. They were here for us day one, and now we want to continue to showcase their beers.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's bringing top-level stuff to this event.
Right.
And, I mean, if you have them go to the event where, there's 1,000 people there, they're just going to take, a standard, all right, here's our IPA because that's what everybody wants, and here's, maybe the pale ale because it might be relatable to the IPA, which is what everybody wants.
Whatever we have kegs of.
Yeah, whatever they have extra
Right.
of then, too. But here you have 3-year-old bottles of prickly pear beer. You have, Weyerbacher, they kick out limited edition stuff pretty much just for this event every year.
And the thing about Weyerbacher is this year they have new representation.
Yeah.
The person who did the event for the last 12 Brewphorias doesn't work for them anymore.
Oh,
Bill
wow.
Bragg, who I was a big, huge Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, if you're listening, I love you to death. I miss you. But we have someone else covering the show now. And we stretched to them and said, hey, Weyerbacher has been a big supporter of Brewphoria. And we want to make sure that you guys understand, hey, return the favor. Bill was always a big supporter, and we didn't want people to be disappointed if they just brought 1 or 2 beers.
I think that's kind of the way the nature of the craft beer business is going, too, especially in Philadelphia and around Philadelphia. Such great beer markets. The consumer expects a lot more, too.
Yeah.
And, like, our rye IPA we've been putting out since we opened a new location in West Philly, and it's one of our highest ranked beers and in pretty much all fronts, and one of our most availables, but everyone likes to try something different and new, and I think that's really great for the industry. It's a little tricky from the sales side because you want to promote your core brands, and they're the ones that you want to get out there and you have in packaging, but you also want to give people something new that they've never tried before and really step up the game. I think it's an incredibly competitive, full, and there's so many great breweries out there, and it really keeps everyone on their toes, and we love it. It's what are we going to do next and how are we going to stand out in this crowd of so many qualified people.
Rye IPA pays your bills, but at some point you have to show more than that.
Enter Wu-Tang Clan.
Exactly.
Enter the woo.
Vince and I are starting to practice
I
breakdancing too, just because. Like, who doesn't want to buy beer from someone who's breakdancing?
I really respect what he just said. There's certain core brands that pay your bills, but at some point you have to show more.
Yeah,
you have to
innovate and do something
innovate.
else,
Exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry I didn't want to elaborate, but Rye IPA is that your biggest brand?
Yeah, it's our top seller.
Right. But you can't continuously just bring that to every
No,
festival.
I wouldn't wanna do that.
At some point, you got to show more. You got to show your hand.
It's a really interesting balance when I go out and do sales as well too, because that's the one I want to push as well, and I want everyone to have the Rye IPA in one of our specialties. In the perfect world, that's what I would have.
Right.
Want to sell Dusty, the #1 nominated best-looking bar manager, on this side or that side of the Schuylkill.
Either side of the Schuylkill.
Above, under, I don't know.
Ideally, I'd want him to buy a half of a Rye IPA and a sixth of something barrel-aged and limited and a year old. And
that's awesome because he knows Rye IPA is what pays his bills, but he knows to grow, he has to have more than that.
Right.
He has to promote more than that.
Yep.
And that's what I love about breweries is it's not yeah, this beer pays my bills, but it's all about innovation. It's all about constant. You just can't continuously pour or push one brand of beer. It's all about innovation.
I honestly think that's why craft beer or independent craft breweries are going to be safe from all this consolidation and acquisition of craft breweries by Miller Coors or Anheuser-Busch. I think they can replicate that authenticity and that innovation, whether it's they don't have the personnel to do it, which I'm not sure I quite believe, but the wheels are in motion too. I mean, what does a run of packaging cost? The number of dollars it costs to switch and get a new 12-pack or a new 6-pack printed or something. I think smaller to medium-sized craft breweries will always have that competitive advantage that they can stay fresh and innovative and relative, and larger breweries or more corporate breweries can't replicate that, and their way into the industry is to purchase that. So,
I think Free Will is a perfect example. When Free Will first came out, it was Citra Pale Ale. They shoved Citra Pale Ale down your throat for a year. I don't think they even make Citra Pale Ale anymore, do they? Or is it seasonal?
Recently, and it was
what's
super
that?
I had it recently, I think.
I'm sorry?
I think I had it recently, and it was super tasty.
Yeah.
But
I don't think. I think it's a
Now
seasonal
people go there for their sours.
Sours or the COB variants or the Craigle. I just talked to Stemler earlier. Craigle is their number one seller right now.
Yeah.
But it's like that brewery was built on Citra Pale Ale, and you know what? They innovated. They created. They moved on from it. And now
you're right.
I'm not sure. I think they still make it, but I think it's more of a seasonal now, which is awesome. I love innovation.
There's definitely a fine line, though. It's in the middle because you want to have your integrity and keep these core brands and have like a
core
nice,
brands pay your
classic,
bills.
perfectly balanced Pilsner.
Your core brands pay your bills, but at some point, if you want to, let me say, beer geeks run this business.
And
not that they
Wu-Tang
run
fans.
this business, but but to stay
I'm
on
like trying to drop a mic, but they're like on these stands that are like, idiot-proof, and like we're doing it.
I know I'm digging myself a hole here, but at some point you can't just keep pushing the same beers. At some point you have to innovate.
No, you're right. You gotta.
As this table shakes.
Yeah, I'm getting seasick from it.
I know.
Do you think
sorry.
Taylor Swift really deserved that award, though? Or
Which
was it
award?
Beyonce's music video?
Well, I don't know, but I think this table is shaking it off better than Taylor does.
Oh.
Hey.
I
Don't
know,
diss
you're
the
a
Swizz.
Swizz.
I miss-
Don't diss the Swiss.
Don't diss the Swizz.
You're a Swizzler, I know.
Well, Dusty, thank you so much for letting us come
No,
in.
you're
and
very
I
welcome.
hope that we can officially say that we'll be back for Brewphoria 14.
Who said I was having you next year?
As long as this table is here, we will be here.
Right.
I can guarantee this table will not be here. I'm going to put it out of its misery very
But there will
soon.
be a table in this
If
location.
there's a table in this
And it'll be
corner, we
more
will be
stable.
here.
Yeah.
and we'll sell 10 times as many T-shirts next year.
Damn straight.
So-
More than the Hopheads.
What is your favorite beer so far?
So far of
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
That prickly pear beer guard. There's not a question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was actually
That was something
probably-
out of left field, and I didn't expect that.
That was really
That
good.
was really good.
Are you guys just saying that because I'm right here?
No.
No.
I could care less what you think.
I'm not even batting my eyelashes at Dusty right now.
You know, I'm not going to say the bearded guard, but I'm going to say the coffee stout.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But, well, safe word, of course.
Satellite?
Everyone knows.
I love Satellite. I did not even know you had it over there, and I'm going to slam this beer here, and I'm going to run and grab a refill.
I will join you.
Very nice.
I'm going to follow Sasha from the back, obviously.
All right, you two go have your man moment.
Yeah. Go.
Thank you.
Something about Netflixing and chill? Or
Oh.
what?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
it's
The
gone there.
Wi-Fi's broken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
One little quick plug, SIPFest, April. Don't
Okay.
have an exact date yet,
At some
but
point in April.
Sometime in April.
All
Pig.
30 days in
Pig,
April.
And
Firkins.
Ugly Sweater Party.
Ugly Sweater Party, December
19th?
17th.
17th.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's a Thursday.
Yes.
That's always an amazing time.
It is.
I can't wait.
18 plus taps. Last year I brought my kegerator in that has 2
Nice.
taps on it. I probably will do that again to make it an even 20 taps.
That's
Perfect.
awesome. Cool.
So
Yeah.
About 13, right? Top 13.
Top 13. Right, Big. Top 13.
Thank you guys.
No, we love having you guys here.
Love being
please,
here.
November
December-
2016.
Yeah. Oh, that's what you were going for. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
Or Brewphoria 14.
Brewphoria 14.
Hells to the yeah.
Let me get through this one first before we go on.
Yeah. Right. Well, you still have
You don't have to think about
46
it yet.
minutes.
I still
46
have
minutes.
an F-bomb laden last call speech to make.
Oh, God.
Oh, I can't
Yes,
wait. I can't wait.
yes.
Do we have the camera? Should we film that?
Yes, we should film
Should
that.
I grab your microphone instead of the band's microphone?
Oh, I don't know how that would
We
go
don't have
over.
speakers, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So
that's
we'll
true.
hear it,
Well,
but
it's
no one
probably
else
a
will.
good thing, though.
Yeah, probably.
We could censor you.
Yeah.
We could, well, yeah. Probably should, too. But yeah,
All right.
Dusty, thank you for putting all this
No.
on. Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
Sasha, thanks for
All right.
bringing some
one
of the
more,
good treats.
One more quick question.
God
Your-
damn it, Dusty.
Your favorite buffet item?
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Mac and cheese.
Mac
Oh,
and cheese?
to the end.
Wings.
Always. Over the wings?
Sasha's voting for the wings.
The wings are good.
The wings
but
are good, but
mac
mac
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
Mac and cheese.
You should have the
Wow.
mac and cheese on all year.
All the time.
Yes. Yes.
24/7.
yes,
Mac and cheese?
Yes.
What part of
Hot and
meatloaf
cold
and mac
running
and
mac and
cheese don't you
cheese.
understand?
What part of what?
The menu item is meatloaf and mac and cheese.
Yeah, but what about those of us that don't want meatloaf and just want mac and cheese?
Oh, is this the vegetarian we're talking to now?
The vegetarian.
Can I get just mac and cheese? Is that a thing? If I say
Yeah,
so, at least I want
absolutely.
Just, oh,
Yes.
There you
Yes.
go. There you go. Next time you're here.
All right.
Look at Rich. Mac
Dusty,
and
Sasha,
cheese.
thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
I
Appreciate
love
it.
you guys. Thank you
Love
very
you.
much.
Thank you
I'm
so
going to
much.
follow Sasha's ass to a satellite
That's
stop.
so weird.
How do you
But
do?
I'll allow it. So after the madness that was Dusty and Sasha, we
Wow,
have
I'm still recovering.
I know. I think we're going to be recovering for a long time. That's a trend with Dusty, and we appreciate that. But we have joining us at the table John, who is from Peak Organic. John, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for coming up here with us.
Of course.
Yeah. So you have, I know we're passing around a tasting glass of this was the fresh cut.
The fresh
right?
cut.
All right.
That's right.
So what is the fresh cut?
Yeah. So fresh cut is kind of our, I guess you could say, flagship. It's actually in Pennsylvania. It's been our best-selling beer. It's a dry hopped pilsner. So we take a kind of classic Pils malt with a pilsner yeast, and then dry hop with an American hop strain. With we use Citra in the flame out and dry hop it with Chinook. So you get a nice kind of citrusy hop profile with a little bit of spice to it. And yeah, it kind of fits in the similar to a session IPA kind of drinker. It's nice, crushable. You can throw back a couple of them. Yeah, it's a beer that I always find I have a couple six packs of in my fridge at a time.
I can see why.
And Peak Organic is located in Maine.
That's right. Yeah, we're from
Okay.
Portland, Maine. Been brewing for about 8 years, going into our 9th year coming up, and just launched in Pennsylvania, kind of like beginning of the summer, springtime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so pretty new to this market, but.
And organic because you are an organic brewery.
That's right, 100% USDA certified, non-GMO. We are actually the largest organic brewery in the country and the first non-GMO brewery in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I visited Thirsty Bear when I was in San
Okay.
Francisco, and I know they are a certified organic
Yep.
brewery also.
So a dry hopped pilsner.
That's right.
It's very good. It's very refreshing and crisp. I like the showcasing the hops, but it's not an IPA.
Exactly.
It's something different.
Exactly. We at Peak we love our hops. We think one of the reasons we started brewing organic was because our founders, two brothers, the classic brewing in their father's garage homebrew story, but they went to their local homebrew store one time and bought organic ingredients just kind of on a whim. And it turned out to be the best beer they ever made. Whether that was by pure chance, which happens a lot in home brewing, or something in the ingredients, they're like, maybe we're onto something here. And we think dry hopping is a really great way to showcase our great kind of farmer supplier partners and the great ingredients they're making. And so dry hopping gives you the hop profile and flavor without all the bitterness.
So next we have, out of a bottle, the winter. I probably should have done the super fresh.
That's all right.
but-
We'll save that for last.
All right.
Yeah.
But we have the winter session ale.
That's right. So the winter session is it's a dark wheat ale. It's not. I wouldn't classify it as like a Weizenbach because we use an American ale yeast in this. We use about 30% wheat in the grain bill, and it's called a midnight malted wheat. So it's not like too dark. It's not too chocolatey. You get some nice toffee notes from it.
Yeah.
And it's only 5%, which is nice for a winter beer. It's kind of refreshing still, easy drinking. And we dry hop it with Citra, so you get just a kind of little hint of that especially in the aroma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice for balance.
Yeah, the hoppiness out of the Citra, it adds a little bit, at least for me, in the end of it, to kind of round it out with the bitterness.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean, you get it in the aroma, absolutely, but that's where I'm finding it in the taste.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
get the
definitely does.
malty goodness up front, and
Yep.
then the
And
nice
hops
finish.
clean it up at
Exactly.
the end there. Yeah.
And that's kind of a trend with all of our seasonals. We have our core seasonals. We usually single hop and dry hop. So you get kind of that nice balance with, you get some aroma in it, you get some nice finish with it, and kind of they're all kind of in the 5% range. We like to make beers that people like to drink 2, 3, maybe 5 or 6 of.
Which is good, yeah.
I like that breweries aren't afraid to go outside of the box now for the seasonal beers. Like, not everybody needs a pumpkin beer for fall. Not everybody needs a crazy spiced holiday ale for the winter season. It's kind of, we're opening our eyes to other possibilities.
You can make good beer all year round. Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
This is nice.
Yeah. I like this one a lot.
And particularly a session ale isn't something I would think of with a winter seasonal because they tend to be bigger.
Yeah, warm you up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. With the higher alcohol, with the warmth of barley wines and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, sometimes you just want something that goes with food, and you can drink a few of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love a good barley wine, but you can't exactly drink 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, no, that's totally true.
You can, but it's a quick night.
Yeah, exactly. You want to enjoy the night.
Yeah,
exactly.
Extend it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But again, this is like the first beer we tried, a great showcase of the hops, like a great, without being like a crazy dank IPA.
Exactly. It's not kind of in your face, not overpowering for sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh man, it's 2 good offerings so far. And what was the next one? Is the super fresh?
That's right. Yes. So
out of a tall can.
That's right. The tall boy cans.
All right.
This is a new package for us. Actually, we do cans of our IPA, of our fresh cut, some of our seasonals, but we wanted to make a kind of big Pilsner version of beer of breweries like Showcase Double IPA. So this is the double version of the fresh cut, basically. 7.6 Imperial Dry Hop Pils. On the can, you see it says a wicked dry hop Pilsner because we are from New England.
It's wicked hardcore.
Exactly. So it's a similar hop profile to the fresh cut with the Citra. We also add a little Simcoe in there as well, so you get the kind of fruity floral notes from that, and also dry hop with Chinook.
I had a bad pour, and I got to let the head cool down.
I love that it's a Pilsner.
That's right. I've had a lot of conversations about this beer because it also sparks conversations of how breweries are now kind of blending the lines between styles.
Yeah.
If you pour this beer to someone who is just getting into craft beer, they'll say that's an IPA. I don't know what you're talking about. And while we use a similar hop profile to a lot of IPAs, it's a Pilsner malt, it's a Pilsner yeast, it's lagered. We have a long lagering process. Right. And so all those assets are, but you talk to a Czech person, they'd say, that's not a Pilsner. I don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So we kind of are blending the traditional Czech style with American hop craziness.
And I don't know that I've ever heard of an Imperial Pilsner.
Yeah.
That's different.
It's I've seen a couple popping up. Lagunitas is doing one.
Right.
Okay.
Or Uber Pils, I guess, is like the German for.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a similar, just kind of like bigger, bolder Pilsner. But yeah, it's funny because you think of Pilsner, you think of like light, crisp, refreshing.
Yeah.
And this is, while it's still, crisp and refreshing, it's not, I wouldn't really say it's light. It's got a lot of hop body to it. So.
Yeah. Packs a nice mean punch.
For
Which
sure.
I like out of it.
A way an American would want their Pilsner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Germans are shaking their fists at us.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, I think the Germans can shake their fists all they want. I think us Americans can definitely stand toe-to-toe on beer with the best of the Germans.
That's right.
Oh, that's why
I'm
Stone.
putting it out there.
That's why
Laying down the
Stone is
gauntlet.
over there.
You
now.
heard it here first.
Depends on the style.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
bring me an American brewery that can make me a German Hefe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay? Just
All right.
saying.
Just saying.
Well, there's got to be 1 out of 4,000 that can do it.
Yeah. That's right.
La Cumbre's slice of Heffen is the closest.
Slice of a Heffen.
Slice of
Yeah,
heaven.
that's the closest I found.
I like that name. These beers are fantastic.
Yeah, I can't say I'm overly familiar with the Peak brand, with it being new to our area, but I'm excited. Now, your location in Portland, is it a brew pub? Is it a tasting room? Like, what can people expect when they go there?
So unfortunately right now it's a production-only facility.
So don't come.
Yeah, stay away. We have some exciting plans. Our founder, John Cadu, is has these great ideas to. We're really into the local ingredient and beer industry, and he has these great ideas. He really wants to build a kind of farm to pint glass brew pub in like the Hudson Valley of New York. We get a lot of our ingredients from upstate New York. A lot of our hops come from New England. Our barley, our wheat, our malts come from upstate New York. And so he'd kind of love to have this brew pub up there. So I'm expecting in the next kind of like five years to see a brew pub where you can grab a glass of peak that's pretty limited, look out the window and see your barley came from there, your hops came from there, and now it's in your glass. So
That's awesome.
That's kind of like what we idealize as our next steps in brick and mortar facility.
Right. Excellent.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
well,
excited that that you're in Pennsylvania now. I think we're kind of having the same thought right now.
Yeah,
Welcome
to
to
Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Thanks for tasting the beer. I'm glad you
Yeah,
guys
thanks
enjoyed
for
it.
bringing it up to us. And I've got a friend that lives up in Portland that I've been telling for years that I'm going to visit. So now I've got
That's
one more
right.
reason to go to Portland.
That's right. Yeah,
That's
Portland's
right.
a great beer town. You know, we like us, Allagash, obviously most people are familiar with, and then a lot of smaller guys up there,
Cool.
Oxbow, Bissell Brothers Foundation, making some great beer.
So what you're saying is it'll be a great trip that I won't remember.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
gotcha.
You'll remember the first hour, and then who knows?
Well, then the first hour I got to spend at peak.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
so you
right.
start there and remember it, and maybe I'll write an article if this trip actually happens. That's the different story there.
It's a lot
It's in the
of
works.
hypotheticals
Yeah.
going on right now.
This is what happens when we get to the end of Brewphoria.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But no, these are great, and it's good to see another certified organic brewer out
That's
there.
right.
Because that's huge,
Yeah.
and the aspirations you guys have are fantastic, and it's going to be good to see what happens as you go. Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing these beers up to the table. It was very nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank
It's
you,
great
John.
to meet you guys.
I
Yeah.
hope the rest of your night goes well.
Thank you. You as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Man,
Cheers. All right, so we've got joining us at the table now. Right now, we've got Joe from Heavy Seas. Joe, how are you?
Joe Gold.
Joe Gold. Joe Gold. Got to do the full
That's
name.
a
Joe
money
Gold.
name.
That is.
It's
that's
a
true.
one word. It's a one word. Joe Gold.
Joe Gold. Joe Gold. Joe Gold. I like it. So, Joe Gold, where is Heavy Seas located?
It's in Baltimore, Maryland, just south of the actual city by the airport. This is our 20th anniversary.
Oh,
Yay!
well, congratulations.
2
Yes.
decades.
And happy anniversary.
Some
That's
of
awesome.
us are growing up. I'm legal next year.
Yeah, anyway.
I've never been to the brewery, but I've been to the brew pub.
Well,
Down near the harbor.
That's not actually a brew pub.
Oh.
No
That's-
brewing goes on there.
Correct.
So it's a restaurant that has your name on and serves your beer.
That's correct, and you're
Okay.
really close to the reality. That's a restaurant group that licensed the name of the brewery to allow themselves to open up day one to be popular.
No way.
Wow.
I did not even
Why not
realize
open
that.
up a Stan and Joe's or whatever? Let's
Right.
open up a Heavy Seas.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Kabang!
How interesting.
20 years of it, 20 years of exposure already.
Wow.
Huh.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
It's a great concept.
It is, and it saves you guys the work of having to have your own brew pub.
Well, in Maryland, we cannot have 2 licenses,
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting.
Wow.
so we couldn't do it.
Huh.
See, we always thought Pennsylvania had all these crappy laws,
No,
and then
no,
we
no,
actually
no.
talked to people in other states.
All of this is
Every
related
state,
to prohibition.
Every state has crappy laws.
It's all
Yeah,
related
yeah,
to prohibition. No, so we in Maryland can have 1 license, 1 only.
Right.
Ours is a brewery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Law keeping you down all the time.
Yeah,
Man.
but it worked out. So it's really cool that you went to the place you thought was a brew pub, because it's a tap takeover every single day, 365, which is outstanding.
Not a bad deal.
From us.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not
that's a
at
good
all.
way to look at it. Yeah. All right. So 20 years ago, you guys started. 95.
95.
95,
What
you guys
happened in 95? It was a brewery crash.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Ah.
It was a shakeout. There were people not walking down the beer aisles going, this is hairy, that's crazy. And our founding member, Hugh Sisson, said, this is a great time to open a brewery.
Well,
And
I guess turned out he was right.
Turned out it was right.
Absolutely.
Well,
yes.
eventually.
For a while.
Yeah. Well, and basically what's happened is anybody with a lab is going to survive now.
Yeah.
And many of the places that didn't have a lab then were the problem. They were not the solution.
Yeah.
And we survived for the first 10 years by making contract beers.
Right.
We didn't survive
Oh.
making, which is why I said there's a story behind
Yeah,
Winter
so
Storm.
what's the
Tell us
story
about
behind
Winter
it?
So
Storm.
as you open up and you call yourself anything, so Samuel Adams opens up, and their bank account name is different than their brand. And Harpoon and Bell's and number of breweries open up, and their bank account name is different than their brand. They were all searching for a way to make a living. What happened with Winter Storm, it was called Heavy Seas Winter Storm. And it took off. And so the bank account name is not the name of Heavy Seas.
Oh.
It has another name, and it's called Clipper City.
Yes.
But the brand is now Heavy Seas.
Right.
But it didn't come out of the box that way.
Huh.
So when Winter Storm hit the streets, the light bulbs went on at our brewery. Meaning everybody said, whoa, this is incredible. We're onto something that the humans are onto.
Yeah.
Not that we're onto.
Right.
And so this is our 20th year, and we're doing a brand of beer, and Uber, Winter Storm ESB, called 20-Year Storm, to celebrate the Heavy Seas brand germinating up and coming alive.
So when did this Heavy Seas branding
Phenomenon
occur?
happen?
When did that happen?
It was actually only about 11 years ago.
Okay, because I have at home a Clipper City Brewing bumper sticker.
Wow.
That's vintage.
Yeah, I got it at a tasting
Yes.
at a local a bar in the area.
Yes.
And I tried the
So
beer.
wait a minute, you might not even be legal because you were not 21 10 years ago.
I was 23 10 years ago.
All right, I was close. I was
You're close, though.
Right? Okay.
You were
No.
close, and thank you, though.
Okay. But no, that's the reality is when we came up with this Winter Storm, it was called Heavy Seas Winter Storm, and nobody knew where Heavy Seas was going to go because we had various lines and various things. And we actually had stuff like the Mutiny Fleet and the Pirate Fleet and but Heavy Seas was the one that stuck.
Right.
And that's why we are what we are today, and we are only climbing the mountain, and that's our brand going forward.
Nice.
And it's been fun.
So tell me about this Winter Storm
Yeah,
beer
yeah.
now that we
Oh
have in
man,
front
it's
of us.
badass. It is badass.
It scares
So-
me because it's delicious and drinkable, but I
Well,
kind of...
you're not drinking the 20. You're drinking only the Winter Storm.
Yeah, we're drinking Winter
Right.
Storm.
So the Winter Storm is an Imperial ESB. It's 7.5% alcohol. It's all English malt. There's there's some English hops is the base with a couple of American hops to twist it toward what the drinker in America will drink.
Right. And Winter Storm, is this a winter seasonal?
It is a seasonal, and we come out every sort of November with it, and it sells through. It's not a beer with Santa Claus on it, but so it's not out of code on the 26th, but it runs out by January because it's all gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It would be great to have this in February, March, because those are cold months.
Yeah.
But it's great that it's not like over on the 26th of
Yeah.
December, but it just we hope people find it and drink it and just love it, and then we're out of it, and all of a sudden it's January.
So buy your case now or
Yes.
2 or 3 and
Or
put
3,
them aside.
Absolutely.
So you still have some in February and March. Because Lord knows we get a lot of snow even in
Yeah.
Yeah, we
February,
do.
March.
Yes,
It's
we
an
do.
El
Yes,
Nino
we do.
year, so it's supposed to be
We
even
get
worse.
those, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about that.
But it's great. At 7.5, it's in today's American world, it's almost an everyday beer. Not a session, but an everyday beer.
Yeah. Well,
Like you can drink one or two.
Yeah.
You can drink one or two,
Yeah.
So get it, grab it, try it, And I can tell you what Heavy Seas does best is we go after not the middle of the road, but we embrace tradition, and we use all the innovation we can to make it a little bit more American and interesting.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Fantastic.
The beer's really, really good, and it doesn't feel like it's 7.5.
No, it drinks way too
It
easy.
drinks
Well,
so easy.
well, that's only because you've had 18 beers before
Well,
this.
that
this
could
is
be-
true
yeah.
too.
You
That
are at a
could-
beer festival. by the
That
way.
could be
yeah.
something to
and,
do
and
with
I
it.
was the last guy asked, so and I'm joking. You guys know I'm
Oh
joking.
yeah,
of
absolutely,
course.
absolutely.
Go out there and find some other knucklehead that'll talk to you right now. Is that cool to say?
Absolutely, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, this is the
We
internet.
can
You
always
say it
find
all.
knuckleheads to talk to.
Yeah.
Cheers.
But
No,
this
that's
is
good.
this is thank you.
It was really good.
Really good. I really like ESBs and that the whole English style, which I think is starting to kind of
It's good.
Well,
It's
you know-
growing.
experience
It's
a little
growing.
bit of a resurgence. But this is a little more, has more of like a hop character
Well,
than you would
do-
expect. Yeah.
Yep. Do you guys? I don't know if your listeners know this, but if you go to a British pub and you walk into a pub and you ask for a pint of bitter, you're going to get the house pale ale
Okay.
on draft,
Right.
generally cask.
Right.
If you walk into a pub and say, I'd like your best bitter, it's an ESB style.
Okay.
So the pale ale in a bottle is actually their cask draft, and their best beer is an ESB.
Right. Right.
That's what English brewers do.
Right.
Wow.
So
Okay.
if you go to Young's Pub in London,
Right.
I'd like a pint of ordinary. Now, how fun does that sound? That's their pale.
Right.
Or I'd like a pint of special.
Right.
And
that's the
special
ESB.
is their ESB.
Right.
Which I would like to go to Young's.
Well, unfortunately, it's closed.
Oh.
Yeah, well, there's a lot behind that. But you go to Fuller's,
go
I'd
to
like a
Fuller's.
Fuller's ESB.
Yeah, yeah.
You can get an ESB in, you know.
All right.
Young's still has all the pubs, but Wells now brews all the Young's
Oh,
beers.
that's right. Yeah.
Only because John Young passed away, and there's a whole long story I don't want to get into tonight about that. I actually worked for that company for many years.
Okay.
And when John Young, the founder, passed away, the family was offered a king's ransom
Yeah.
for not the brewing, for the real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do an article series about foreign beers. I just haven't had time to really do it lately. But one of the first ones I did was might have been either banana bread or double chocolate.
Well, banana
banana
bread,
bread. It was banana bread.
would have been Wells, and
Yeah.
double chocolate would have been Young's.
Young's, right? Yeah,
Right.
and I remember there was something about them,
Wells
having,
and Young's.
Yeah, having basically become one at one point.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a whole that could be an hour segment, and
Yeah.
we don't have an hour.
Exactly.
I got it, fellas. So thank you very much for letting me come on.
Hey, no,
Oh,
thank you. The
absolutely.
beer
Thank
was
you for coming
delicious.
on.
Yeah,
Cheers.
you know,
so
Yeah,
much.
it's really good.
So going into Baltimore, go to Heavy Seas, but you'll know the difference between the restaurant with the licensed name versus
Yes, which is a wonderful place that they have, and the restaurateurs are fantastic.
right.
So you can go have a wonderful meal and drink all of our beers, or you can come to the brewery and sample the beers actually where they're made.
Right.
So we have a luxury of kind of both things going on.
Yeah.
Skirting the rules.
Skirting the rules.
Hey.
Hey, that's okay.
Gotta do what you can.
Get by that any way you can. And
Yeah.
of course, you can find bottles of Heavy Seas. I see them all over the place.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
So-
draft and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
so-
thank you, gentlemen, for letting me have, and ladies. Thank you
yeah.
for letting me,
Yes,
you
yes.
know.
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming up to the table.
Yes.
Yeah,
you.
thank you. It was nice to meet you, Joe Gold.
Yes,
Joe
thank you.
Gold, yes.
It is. It's a
Joe
one-word
Gold.
name. I
Joe
swear to
Gold.
God.
We love it.
You go to
I like
Baltimore, say I met Joe Gold. And they're
That's
like,
right.
yeah,
All right.
I know him.
We know Joe
you go,
Gold.
I met a guy named Gold. I don't know who you're talking about.
I know Joe Gold.
Joe Gold.
And I hope I didn't mean that in a funny way, but that's reality. So,
That's fine.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
come on down and
Awesome.
see us.
For sure,
Absolutely.
we will.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
Joe.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much,
much.
Joe Gold. So the night is winding down, but we couldn't go without getting Jake here from Duck Rabbit.
Well, he did drop a bottle of Russian Imperial
That
Stout
is
on the
true.
table like a boss.
That is true.
It's like-
We're like, we need
kind
him.
of slid it right
I'm
in
just
there.
gonna leave this here and walk away.
No worries.
But
That's how we do it.
welcome to the table. Thank you for coming up here with us.
Thank you for having me. I
it's
appreciate
great
it.
to meet you. So, Duck Rabbit, I've got a few questions about.
Sure.
So, first off, where are you guys located?
Farmville, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
Okay.
Carolina.
So, are you yourself based out of North Carolina then?
No, I'm based out of Fredericksburg, Virginia.
So,
A little closer.
so yeah, slightly
yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the northern sales rep, so I cover everything. I cover Virginia, Pennsylvania, and DC as well.
Nice.
So-
Nice.
Okay. Well, how long have you been distributing to Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, we started about 7 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
7, 8 years ago. We started 11 years ago, and then started going south, South Carolina, Georgia, and then we thought Philadelphia was a market that we should be in, and we went in it, and great success ever since then.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Another question I have then is duck season, rabbit season?
We-
Did that have any play into the name, or,
Duck season.
or is that a
Rabbit
happy
season.
coincidence?
So the owner, Paul, used to be a philosophy professor back in the 80s. And the Duck Rabbit is a philosophical teaching made famous by Ludwig Wittgenstein, a German philosopher, which was one of Paul's favorite books. So when he opened up his own brewery, he wanted to incorporate his past life into his brewing life. So what better way to incorporate that by using one of his favorite teachings?
Very
All
cool.
right.
Is the Duck Rabbit teaching, yes.
That was much smarter than I would
And
have ever
it's
gone
such
with.
a noticeable. I mean, you see
Yeah.
this, you
Oh,
know
yeah.
it's them.
Oh, yeah.
The logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does stick out in the
Very
shelves.
cool.
Yeah. So we have in some of the glasses here. What is What? So you've got, I think I heard the name Wee Heavy being
Yes.
thrown around. So Wee Heavy, what is the Wee Heavy?
So the first beer you're trying is our Wee Heavy Scotch Ale. And most of our names, we call it what it is. This is
Right.
called a Wee Heavy Scotch Ale.
It's just easier that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, our milk stout, what we're known for, we call it the milk stout.
the milk stout,
Yes,
yes.
exactly.
Ooh.
So yes, very caramely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A caramel malt base, and then you let it simmer and caramelize at the bottom of the kettle.
Yep.
And it adds some extra color and more caramel to it. But it's not over the top caramel. Our amber ale actually it sometimes sticks out more caramely than this one, but I think this is a great beer, and it's 8.5%, but does
Wow.
not drink like 8.5%.
No.
No. So
There's like an extra sweetness at the end of it that.
Sorry, I just gave Elise safe word.
Oh, that's safe word. Nice.
There's
She's
extra-
going back for more.
There's
got
an
some-
extra
it's got some
sweetness
bite
in the
to it.
back of the Wee Heavy that
Yeah.
it reminds me of something else that I can't put my finger on, and this is driving me fucking nuts.
It's caramelly. It's exactly what you want in a Wee Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I love that those classic styles are coming back. They're becoming cool again.
They are.
You know,
yeah, like
it's
the,
not
the,
always
the classic English
about-
styles, the Scotch ale.
It doesn't always
It's
have
really
to be
nice
about the
to
IPA.
have like nice, good, like sort of old world.
I mean,
beer
that's
being cool. Yeah.
Duck Rabbit. We don't make anything the owner would not drink.
Yeah.
And we're also not the flavor of the month brewery, so we're not making crazy new beers all the time. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's not what we're about. We're about making solid beers, drinkable beers, continually over and over again. As long as people keep drinking it, we'll keep making it.
Keep making it. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Good philosophy.
Ooh, this Hoppy Bunny.
Hoppy Bunny, yes, one of my personal favorites that we make.
That's nice.
It is an American black ale, or better known as a black IPA.
Right.
So you're going to get a lot of hops up front in the smell and the taste. And then on the back end, you get a lot of those coffee roasty malts that kind of,
Yeah.
I think it helps dissipate the bitter that comes along with hops.
Right.
That sometimes sticks to the roof of your mouth, which people like and other people do not like. So this is a great beer for a baby step into IPAs. Or IPA drinkers tend to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, or you want something
so-
a little bit different.
Right.
I
Yes.
love that little spiciness from the malt, and yeah, it's a style I really appreciate and enjoy.
It's like an IPA and a stout had a baby, and this is the baby.
Yeah, and I always and I've said this before, but I always appreciate a black IPA that doesn't taste like if you closed your eyes, it tastes just like an IPA.
Right.
It just happens to be
Yeah.
black.
And us being the dark beer specialist, we really emphasized on the malt on the back
Right.
the back end. So, yeah.
So it's a black IPA that balances the two sides of its character very well.
And that's I think it's one of our more complex beers in that essence because you get so much flavor front and back that are completely different.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
It's got a really nice, almost like bitter chocolate finish.
Oh yeah, yes.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Now I'm excited for this one that we're passing around. This is the
Russian
Russian Imperial.
Yes.
Right. Okay. It smells
rabid.
like I would want a Russian Imperial stout to smell,
Oh,
and
wow.
I love that smell. Oh,
Yes, the
smells
name is
dangerous.
Rabid Duck, which came from one of our customers many, many years ago, who commented that if you drink enough of it, you would go rabid.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
thought we'd run with that name, and it's done pretty well so
Yeah.
far. So yeah, you get a lot of espresso coffee flavor with a little bit of chocolate on the back end.
Ooh, that
It's
is
a lot
nice.
smoother than I was expecting.
Right?
It is, and it has like a subtle fruity quality.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Almost like a
The
dark,
dark fruit
kind
yeah,
of.
almost like a dark cherry.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
this is released in March, so it has been aging since March. So
Okay.
there
Which
is
is
a
probably why it's so smooth.
there is
Yeah.
a noticeable hop profile when it's fresh.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
obviously with age, it's going to dissipate.
Right.
And then the malts really mature and become amazing. So
Wow.
this is, I'll let you guess the percent.
I was just gonna ask. I'm afraid to.
I'm gonna
ask.
say 10, even 10.
10?
I'm gonna go 11.5.
That's a good, it's 10%.
Damn it.
It is 10% exactly, but yeah. Our barley wine would be the highest that we make at 11%.
Oh man, I even overshot that.
And like I tell most people, all of our beers, I think, go down smoothly. So they're
Yeah.
not, they don't,
So
you
be
don't,
careful.
you don't get that alcohol bite that you get with some of the higher ABV beers that that haven't been perfected yet, or maybe that's what they want. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It's true.
It depends. Yeah. But this is almost like a silky. It's got like a silky feel to it. It's really nice. Yeah.
I feel like this is a good beer to end our night.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
the
For sure.
fruitiness, the espresso notes, the
It's a sort of
little
the,
bit of roastiness out of
It's
it.
the opposite of an aperitif. Digestif, that's what you call it.
I didn't even know those were words.
They are.
Now you know.
News to me.
Now you know.
Now you know. The
And
more
knowing's
you
half
know.
the battle.
Knowing is indeed half the battle.
It looks like you guys have drank quite a few beers tonight.
And then
It's-
some.
We
Yeah.
love coming here. Brewphoria treats us
Brewphoria's
well,
great, yeah.
and we love it.
This is a great fest to come to. Have you were here last year? Or
I was here last
you were
year.
here
yes.
last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did we not
I
get
was
you
gonna
on the
say,
show?
we were here last year too. and
I
we
was up front, and same deal. I come by myself, and I do it all, and then I didn't
Yeah.
really get to sneak away.
Yeah.
And then tonight I'm right on the other side of the wall, so I figured I'd give you guys a sip of something good.
Perfect.
Not
Yeah,
that you're not
absolutely.
drinking good beers.
I'm guessing
Appreciate
Rich
it.
is pouring for you. Our liaison. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's awesome too.
Okay.
He does a lot of work
Rich
for us.
is awesome.
Yeah, he gets
He's
us-
our DD, our gatherer of the guests.
He doesn't even drink beer.
No?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't drink beer. No.
Yeah, Steph married her DD.
I did. I was smart.
And he married somebody that won't try to finish his steak.
That's true. He
So-
gets all the meat, and I get all the beer. It's all
That
good.
sounds like a good
it's
deal.
the perfect relationship.
Between the two of you, you make one normal person.
Watch it. Jake, it was so nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
Jake,
I love
thank
you
you
too,
for coming
Elise.
up here, man.
Steph is awesome.
And Elise is,
Guys,
So are the
you know,
rest of the
bombing
bitches
us.
behind her.
That's the closest to Elise being on the show.
Bitches is a nice way to say I'm so sorry, Jake Ryan from Doug Rabbit. He's awesome too. I'm so sorry to. I'm sorry.
She's right. Jake, you are awesome. Thank you for coming by and sharing these beers with us. And
Thank you for drinking
This
the
is
beer.
a good beer for us to milk now and
Yes.
enjoy the rest of the night.
I
Yes,
agree
yes,
wholeheartedly.
absolutely.
Yes. So thank you for coming up to the table with these safe travels back to Virginia.
Thank
Yes,
you. I
for
appreciate
sure.
it.
And we look forward to many returns.
All
Yeah.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Awesome.
All right,
You too.
thanks,
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers. So this was fun.
Yeah, last call has been made.
Yeah. We missed Dusty's vulgar last call speech.
Probably
That's
for the
it,
best.
bitches. Drink the fuck up.
Wayne
That's
pretty
right.
much summarized it there. And now I know we called you guys out in the beginning when we started recording, but we've got at least Kevin here from Hopheads.
Yes. Wes is here, but he's talking to Elise, so
He's
whatever.
doing his thing.
According,
Whatever that may
according
be.
to Kevin, Wes is flirting with Elise. So
Well,
we got to
yeah.
call that out.
Everyone should flirt with Elise.
Let the record show that the Beer Busters sold more T-shirts than the Hopheads this evening.
Go, Mom.
That's true. Yeah, Bart, you
Not
got
by
to
a large margin, but enough.
We beat them.
Bart, you
and
got to
now
whip
I
your
owe
guys
my
into
mother
shape.
dinner.
Yeah, you do owe your mother dinner.
Yes.
Bart, you got to whip these guys into shape, man. They're
That's right.
slacking. You're not making a lot of money with them working for you.
We look good though. That's what we bring to the table.
No, you just came for the beer. Come on.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that accusation.
Yeah.
And the mac and cheese.
And the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, absolutely.
Which I may or may not have had way too much of. So
Which is why you feel like you need to vomit.
that's going to be a fun drive home, let me tell you what. But I think this turned out really well.
This was a fun night.
I mean, I didn't think that it wouldn't turn out well. That's the thing. But we had some good old friends on the show.
Yeah.
We made some new friends. We finally can say again we've had the entire Evil Genius team on the show.
Officially, we have, yes.
Which
and
I'm-
at least it has been confirmed that it is Fishtown. It was
Yes.
out of his mouth, which
true.
is what we
Fishtown.
have inferred for a while, but now he's actually said it.
I may or may not have his keys in my
I
pocket.
know, we need to steal his keys. We're going to go every building in Fishtown and find
Which,
it.
by the way, I have to say, while you guys are finishing up the Duck Rabbit Imperial, I went and got some more Make Like a Tree.
Nice.
Good for
So
you.
I figure it's not 10%, but it's slightly less.
And I had forgotten until just a second ago that a bottle of Free Will Blood and Guts
Oh,
did make its way to the table at
Thanks,
some
John
point.
Stemler. You're
So
awesome.
I will be drinking some of that before we leave.
Yeah, so John brought us Safe Word, brought us Blood and Guts. All right.
It's been a good night.
Kevin, what was your favorite beer of the night?
Make like a tree.
Good
I'm
answer.
going to have to go with it.
Good answer.
Nice.
And John's got a nice mysterious air about him, and blue hair, we have to say.
He's
it's
a
like-
cool guy. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
There's a little bit of purple in there, too.
Was
so.
there? It might have
A
just been
little
the lighting
bit.
that
A
I didn't
touch.
catch it.
A hair of purple.
A hair of purple.
A hair of purple.
It's
got a hair at Dutch.
There we go. Putting safe word aside, because I think it would be unfair because everyone knows.
Yeah,
but
we know that's gonna be your favorite.
You know, the prickly pear beer de garde, that was funky. That was delicious. That was definitely
the prickly pear was
that was a standout
Yeah,
for me.
that was out of left field. I did not expect anything like that.
I do kind of have
It
to
was
look
great.
over my notes and,
Yeah, I
and
know.
remind myself
I-
of all the beers we had.
There wasn't a bad one in the bunch.
Oh, not
we
at
had a
all.
lot of great beers.
And that's what I like about this event. Like we said
yeah.
with Dusty, people are going to bring their best.
Yeah,
Because
and all of those,
it's Brewphoria.
all of the coffee beers. I mean,
Oh, we had some amazing
COB,
coffee beers.
Barista's Choice.
Yeah.
You know, with both of them that
Yeah.
I've gushed over many, many times.
I
But
do
then
have to-
Sasha brings the espresso stout. That was really good.
Put in a word for Dark Bloom from
Yes.
Hidden River.
Hidden
I
River
really
is doing
enjoyed
some
that.
amazing things.
That
I
was really
cannot
awesome.
wait for us to go and record there.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
And somebody brought 3 saisons, so of course they're going to be my friends.
And John Stemler had a Saison shirt on.
Yeah, he did.
It's
Yeah,
all
he
about
did.
the Saison
And this
tonight.
is the anniversary of when we met John Stemler.
It is
and,
the anniversary from when we met John Stemler.
Yeah, and a lot has come out of that.
That's right.
And, you know, a lot's come out of the partnership between us and Hopheads as well.
We
This
love the
is
Hopheads.
actually a year for when we recorded. Exactly a year.
Is it
The
really?
first Brewphoria.
No, we were,
No,
at-
like to
we were
the
in the
date
studio
with
on
them.
the 14th.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no
Brewphoria
way.
was the 15th.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 'Cause
That's
I remember
right.
I stayed overnight at your house.
Completely forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I was
a
trying
lot
to,
of things have happened in
I was
here.
trying to remember earlier who we recorded with the night before last year, and now it comes back.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. And look for that on our YouTube page.
Yes, you can now, if you don't have time to listen to an entire episode of Beer
'Cause
Busters, which
they can be
why you
long.
wouldn't find the time is beyond me, but
Well-
maybe you're weird and you didn't. But
It's okay.
you can now listen to segments of our podcast on YouTube. You can listen
And-
to our games, our interviews, our Steph's Know Your Beer segment.
Yeah, this will be an ongoing thing too. So make sure you subscribe to our channel because I don't think we have the vanity URL yet. But the more subscribers we get, we could have YouTube.com/BeerBusters, God willing.
That's right. And we have some awesome new video projects in the works coming
Yeah.
out.
We do.
Yeah.
So,
So
keep
definitely
on the
stay
lookout.
tuned. That's something that's going to be hopping. To
We
say
have
the
a
least.
little video studio in the Beer
We-
Busters podcast
We
basement
do,
now.
we do. Now you can look at our ugly mugs.
Yeah.
And
Besides
we
just
have
listening to our
our
voices.
key grip is a giraffe.
Did we vine anything tonight?
Oh shit!
Whoops.
No.
Follow us on
Follow
Vine.
us on Vine. Our Vine is awesome. Our Vine is awesome. Come on
And
now.
and I would be remiss if I did not mention that if you go to audibletrial.com/beerbusters, you can get a free audiobook. And in the process of doing so, you're also supporting us because let's face it, we had more technical difficulties tonight that luckily we were cool enough, our guest at the time was cool enough to redo it all. But if you want to make my life less of a living hell, I would appreciate that. But you get something out of it, too. You get the free audiobook. You can choose from anything. And I promise at some point I will listen to my Audible copy of The Science of Star Trek and be more of a nerd. But audibletrial.com/beerbusters.
All right,
Download
just find.
All right, we just vined.
All right,
Download a free book.
Vine has happened.
Support us as Beer Busters Media, and we will thank you forever. And we promise not to give up on you as well.
And as long as we're on the shameless plug train, keep an eye out for our Patreon.
Yes, that'll
which
be coming
will
soon.
be up and running shortly. Patreon is a way that you can give us $1, $5 a month, $5 a podcast episode release to help support us, and you'll get cool perks out of it. And we will be your best friends forever.
Yes, and this
That's
is all. This is coming down the road. The rewards are to be determined, but we promise they will not suck.
It may be a signed picture of Kevin Keller himself. You never know.
I think that's a great idea. That's going to cost you
Love
like
it.
$100 a month. Then.
That's right.
No, see the regular signed one will be like $5, but if you want the nude one, that'll
Yeah.
be $20.
Oh, I was going to say topless. You just went there.
Yeah, of course I did. I can see you pulling up. Like, you ever see that picture of Burt Reynolds in his compromising?
Absolutely. I mean,
I could see you pulling that off.
there's no other way.
Wow.
That's how you know it was a good night. Well, Kevin, thank you for hanging out with us for this last little bit.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure.
I'm sorry we outsold. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry that we outsold you in shirts.
Sorry, not sorry.
Hashtag. Sorry,
Stone's
not
new
sorry.
IPA.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. And I want to give a huge thanks to everyone that was up here tonight.
For sure.
And I look forward to next year. This is an amazing event. So if you're listening to this and you did not get to come to this Brewphoria,
Shame on you.
I hope you learned between last year and this year that you should be here next year, because it's been a hell of a night. Thank you to Rich for pouring for our guests while we had them up here, for getting the guests to come up here. This would not happen without you. We have to thank our intern Marilyn for selling all our T-shirts to outsell Hopheads. Thank you to Wes.
You don't steal her. She's ours.
Yeah.
No, we're already in contract negotiations.
Oh, God. Thank you to Wes, who's back there in the background, who did not want to come up to a microphone because he was flirting with Elise. Thank you to Elise for everything. Dusty for putting this entire show on. Steph, Wayne, thank you guys. This is fun. I love doing this with you guys.
He's in a thankful mood.
I'm in a thankful mood, and I don't get to say thank you to you guys enough.
Oh,
thanks, Dan. You're awesome.
Thanks.
On that note.
On that sappy note, that brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters, and it's been a hell of a night. I'm not drunk, but I'm feeling good. The mac and cheese was fantastic. I think I ate too much of it, but that's...
I'm not drunk, but I'm feeling full.
That's a little too much information for all you guys. Yeah, I would like... This is one of those times where I'm almost getting choked up that we get to do this. And there's people who will listen to it, and we can't thank you guys enough for listening. I am Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner,
and our fermentertainer,
Wayne Baker.
No squids were harmed in the making of this episode, but my stomach certainly was. Until next time, my friends, bid you adieu.
Pause save. Pause save.
Pause save.
Pause save.
Pause save mac and cheese.